We're on a mission to hit 1,000 subscribers every week. The words hit harder than I expected. My father didn't just speak them, they were thrown at me, shaped like the judgments I had carried silently for years. All you do is take. You've never given anything. I could feel my mother tense behind him. She didn't argue, she just let the words land. My younger brother looked away, probably relieved the storm wasn't aimed at him, already imagining the story he'd tell his friends later, how he'd escaped responsibility in this family meltdown. I stayed silent. I didn't defend myself. I didn't argue. That wasn't my way. Years of quietly covering gaps in our household finances had taught me that generosity explained to those who saw it as an obligation was always futile. The accusation was clear. I was taking, failing, disposable. And then, the final blow, delivered with theatrical disdain, "If you have any pride left, leave." So I did. I didn't slam doors. I didn't cry. I packed what I needed and walked out quietly. Outside, the air smelled like winter, crisp with possibility. Inside, the house, a stage for judgment my entire life, was finally empty of me. At first, my absence barely registered. My father grumbled about independence and responsibility, framing my decision as stubbornness. My mother shook her head, as though disappointment could bend reality. My brother went about his routine, likely wondering when I'd return, hoping it would be soon. But small cracks began to appear almost immediately. Tuition payments I had been quietly covering stopped hitting the university account. Utility bills went unpaid. Minor, cumulative fractures appeared where I had once patched them. A month later, my phone rang. It was my sister. Her voice trembled, panicked, tearful. "Why did the tuition payments stop?" she asked. I paused. She heard only silence. Then I texted back deliberately, "Thought I never gave this family anything." No dramatic flourish. No warnings about karma or lessons. Just the quiet truth. The truth of my absence, made visible in unpaid bills. Her sobs lingered on the line, but I didn't respond. I watched from my small apartment, the one I had chosen for its solitude, its clarity, its separation from the chaos I had left behind. And then I watched. I watched my father struggle with bank calls and enrollment officers. I watched my mother pace through the house, rereading bills, muttering apologies to no one. I watched my brother realize their assumptions about me, taking, were built entirely on ignorance. It wasn't revenge. It wasn't gloating. It was simply absence serving as proof. The stability I had provided, invisible until it was gone, spoke for itself. Weeks passed. The house grew quieter, but tension thickened. Schedules faltered. Responsibilities doubled back on themselves. Every unacknowledged contribution I had made revealed its weight. I didn't intervene. I didn't answer calls beyond that first text. I didn't make speeches. My dignity had been questioned. My generosity ignored. My presence undervalued. Silence was the only honest response. Eventually, the family system adjusted. Bills were eventually paid, though the rhythm had changed. Lessons were absorbed, imperfectly, but pride and misunderstanding had created fractures that would take years to heal, if they ever fully did. I felt a quiet alignment. For the first time in years, I didn't need to fight to be seen or heard. My contributions, though absent, spoke louder than any argument or apology ever could. And yet, I couldn't call it victory. Not fully. I had left, yes, reclaiming control of my life and dignity, but the cost was real. Relationships strained. Trust eroded. Love filtered through judgment. Late at night, I sometimes thought of my sister, wondering how she would reconcile the truth of my absence with her memories of my quiet sacrifices. Sometimes I imagined my father still believing I had taken, never realizing how much I had quietly carried. I hadn't given up. I hadn't sought revenge. I had simply chosen to leave the stage I had been forced to occupy for so long. And in that choice, I found something rare: clarity. People often confuse visibility with impact. They measure giving through recognition, thanks, or acknowledgement, never through quiet consistency. I had given invisibly. And now, my absence spoke louder than any words ever could. Watching them, I realized something crucial. Absence is sometimes the only mirror that shows truth clearly. And in that mirror, I finally saw myself as I had always been, responsible, generous, and above all, respected on my own terms. No celebration. No triumphant gesture. Just clarity. Just quiet dignity.